It's a grey winter's Sunday at football's Grand Coliseum as round 14 draws to a close, featuring two teams with plenty to play for. Hi everyone, welcome along to Fox Footy Sunday. Clinton Grimes with our team, Wayne Carey, Jared Healy and Scott. 28,000 expected at the MCG this afternoon. The weather forecast perhaps a shade optimistic. Clearing skies, currently 12 on our way to a forecast top of 15 degrees. Time to head to Fox Footy's very own Luke Darcy with Scott Cummings. As the Western Bulldogs on a 4-game winning run, haven't won 5 in a row since the 2002 season, looking to improve to 10-4. Shannon Watt, 100th AFL game, originally out of Cavendish, population 100 in regional Victoria. Taken a while, made his debut back in 98, game number 100 today for the fullback. Michael Ferrito will play his 50th match for the Kangaroos, who'll head to the city end goal right of screen in the opening term. And I think when we're looking at this match, Wayne, the one thing we're looking at is there any flatness amongst the Bulldogs? Have they come back from the West with the 4 points, but also a bit of a hangover? We know that the Kangaroos won last week, but the Dogs have been on a roll.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting game for that reason alone, Jared. I think West Coast struggled a little bit yesterday. They're used to the heat in Perth, but a lot of people are saying 23 last week was more like 30 when you're playing in Melbourne most weeks. And spoke to Brad Johnson yesterday on Saturday Central, and he said that the boys did have some effects from that heat last week.
There's an obvious matchup, Harris on Thompson. Really looking forward to seeing Rowan Smith. He's got a chance to start today. He's a bloke in the twilight of his career, but so many exciting things happening for the Bulldogs. Just like for him to have a really good finish to the season, so there's no issue of retirement. He just explodes and maybe even gets his 300th game with a couple of finals.
Drew Petrie's gone to full back on Chris Grant.
Set to go. The 140th meeting between the Kangaroos and the Bulldogs, albeit Footscray and North Melbourne up until about 10 years ago, as Rawlings comes through for the first clear possession to Ferrito, to a man that we've targeted as having to spark his club today. He's blazing away, Daniel Wells, and it's over for a boundary throw. In our umpires today, wide for sound as always on Fox Footy Sunday, are Michael Vozzo, Damien Sully and Stefan Grant.
And that's what the Kangaroos need, speed through the midfield.
And a good way to start. Gilby going alongside of Brent Harvey near this boundary throw-in. Deep in the Kangaroos attacking zone as Street got it down. Power targeting West. Power towards Griffin. Clever knock on out wide. Rawlings is alongside of West for now. Boundary throw-in.
And that'll be a good battle. Brady Rawlings gone to Scott West.
And Farron Ray, it looks like, is with Daniel Wells.
Some experience on the Roos bench to start in Archer and Brown as Street palms it down. Here's a go for Hamish McIntosh.
Great kick.
And the big man bends it back nicely for the opening goal.
It is a good kick, Jared, but in saying that, you often wonder whether it really is a great... I mean, it's a great kick.
I didn't wonder at all. That was a great kick.
No, it was a great kick, but you'd think that at this level, I like to see players kick that on his left foot.
But has he got the ability to get onto the left foot there? He was under pressure.
The guy was on his kicking side, so therefore could have smothered. The left foot would have been the better option. So
if he had the time, you'd agree. But under that sort of pressure, I reckon that was an instinctive goal by a young man with instinctive ability. Wayne, let's start with a positive.
You're a tough taskmaster. One of the two inclusions, along with Andrew Swallow, is Hamish McIntosh, and he's getting involved here and feeding Shannon Grant for Jess Sinclair. Signs good early for the Kangaroos. Adam Simpson now drifting it to half forward, and Petrie's got it. McGuinness alongside.
Yeah, good signs. They're winning the clearances, which is always an indicator, and the Dogs are going to have to start barking.
Starting tall there, the Roos, with Hale and Thompson in the forward zone. Bulldogs should be able to clear with Griffin. Chris Grant, last line of defence. Keeping it inside the defensive 50 for Cooney, and now Daniel Cross. To the southern wing he goes. The target is Boyd. Upends his opponent. Sinclair runs onto it. Wells is closing fast. Boyd gets the kick. There's some holding. Free kick. Yeah. Matthew Robbins will take it. Shot at goal 30 metres out.
Well, that's what happens when the speed of the ball is so electric. It puts defenders under pressure, and Matthew Robbins, who did a defensive job mostly last week, gets an opportunity to kick his first.
Both arms around him, then he grabbed hold of his jumper.
Michael Vozzo
down, mate, okay?
with the description for Daniel Pratt.
We'll have another look at that. Get a replay, but Yeah, you're right, Jared. You put the pressure on, you get it down there quickly. It puts the defenders under pressure and they make mistakes like that.
It's a bit breezy out there at the MCG today, but no problems for Matthew Robbins. Goal number 99 of his career. And number 23 for this year to level the scores. And Daniel Pratt, angry.
Well, that's what the Bulldogs are known for, their quick movement from defence. Started with Chris Grant. He started at full forward, but what he's doing is he's getting behind the ball. And that was just quick movement there. And we'll have a look at the free kick. Well, couldn't probably see exactly what had happened.
Meanwhile, Rawlings and West are getting to know one another.
Don't need a warm-up when you get a little bit of wrestling like that early in the match.
Just watching Brady Rawlings, I can tell you now he's not worried about the ball too much. He's watching Scotty West very closely.
Nice tap.
Street to West. Here's McGuinness. Half forward leading out Rowan Smith. Didn't hang on to it long enough. Makepeace heading for the boundary line. Now keeps it in. Pratt. Towards the wing for Thompson. Couldn't scoop it on the half volley. Harris. Chipping it to space. McGuinness better run onto it, and he does. Makepeace selected to try and bump instead of tackle. Harris and Petrie getting involved and winning a free kick.
Well, he was a human pinball there. Bang, bang, bang.
The Kangaroos are on.
Yep. Body language is good. Dogs are hanging in there. They've got to weather the early storm. Got the pace to go with them, obviously.
Short ball travels the required 15 to Sinclair. These two clubs, a history of shootouts. Their last 10 games, at least 30 goals have been kicked in each match, including a 46-goal shootout 3 years ago. Big leap there, no mark for Casey Green as Gian Siracusa is tied up. So they are happy to roll the dice. History suggests the Bulldogs winning the last three as we check Eagleton, McMahon, Skipper and Montgomery their bench. McIntosh winning it down. Coming through Schwartz to the top of the square. Wrestle. Oh, what a terrific mark by Boyd.
That was a great mark because Brent Harvey, very strong in the body, usually good in those type of situations.
Now the Dogs can look to run it out. McGuinness taking his time. In the end took too long. Good closing pressure by Harvey. Wells is here. Ray.
Well, they didn't win at that time, but the gang tackling here, the Kangaroos, is putting some Bulldogs under some pressure. They're not on at the moment.
1%er from Wells. The lunging effort to Spoil, and Sinclair giving it to Simpson, and now Harvey. Can he hit a target? No one is deep. Handball to Sinclair. If he goes long, he's got to try and kick it. He can't, obviously.
Well, the Bulldogs have got players on the last line.
And so Grant's gone for the boundary line. Will he get it? No. Power chops it off. And the Bulldogs will clear. Well, modern footy, you're kicking as a forward for the boundary line.
Well, this is basically rugby union because the Bulldogs have got all behind one ball and then the Dogs are the other way.
It was good play by the Kangaroos, though. They held it up. They knew they couldn't go deep, but
they needed someone to push forward.
They needed someone to work hard into the forward 50.
Here's Johnson, Gilby, Grant.
Robbins is going to get to work. He's got his own forward 50 at the moment.
Griffin and Grant of the Kangaroos. Gian Siracusa, a great handball to West. On in turn to Cooney, trying to find an opening, feeding it for Johnson. Now Griffin. Kangaroos, though, have got numbers back, so he doesn't want to kick it long. He has to eventually, and the Roos should be able to have it. Robbins in a wrestle with Pratt. Here's Rowan Smith. Robbins slapping it to space.
Good numbers, Kangaroos.
Here's Petrie. Out wide, Sinclair.
Took a while for the Kangaroos to get numbers back, though, Jared. If the Bulldogs had been a little quicker, they had a one-out contest in their forward line, whereas I think the Bulldogs are getting back in their defence a lot quicker than the Kangaroos.
And we'll get a boundary throw in on half forward.
Got the ball, David.
And David Hale pretty keen for a free kick there. I'm not sure he did get the ball, but he certainly got the shoulder. It's a rare forward, sorry, a rare ruckman that can make it as a forward. And I know McIntosh had some experience as a player there in juniors, but very much built as a ruckman.
Corey Jones now going deep to half forward. Cross read it very well going back and feeds Harris.
Brent Harvey playing out of full forward, Nathan Thompson up at centre half forward, which is unusual because Nathan Thompson's been playing his best footy when he's the player that's deep.
Remember, they left Rocker out of this team today. One of the emergencies dropped from last week. Power feeds Ray. And the Kangaroos again will get numbers back. Pratt's going to run onto this.
Had a good year, Pratt.
Can't kick it long, though. No one presenting yet on the wing, so he carries it a couple of times. Chips to the centre corridor. Well-weighted ball for Corey Jones. And he takes off, and he feeds the fourth gamer, Andrew Swallow, who drives it into the pocket for Thompson. And his first touch today is a good mark.
Well, the wide shot will show that the two defenders of the Bulldogs weren't working together. They were both in a line between the player that kicked the ball, as we have a look here, and the receiver, rather than Hargraves just pushing and covering the space.
They did protect the corridor, though, which is, I suppose, if you're going to get beaten, out wide's probably the best option.
Number 1 in the AFL for marks inside 50 in the last month, Nathan Thompson. Oh, look at that.
Sheesh.
His 33rd goal for the season. Kangaroos lead by a goal.
Another one of our guests yesterday on Saturday Central.
Are you going to go through every one of them throughout the course of the afternoon?
No, well, we had a few guests.
Yeah, I know.
Nathan Thompson said yesterday, definitely the most consistent year he's had.
Yeah.
Thus far, enjoying a terrific year, even though the Kangaroos not enjoying a great year.
A career best 8 goals back in that round 6 match against Hawthorn. And a good grab there. Brian Harris has conceded 32 goals this year, equal most in the AFL coming into this round with Leo Barry.
Wizardry from Street at the last centre clearance. Let's see how this one goes.
It's Lee Brown feeding the first handball out. Griffin deflecting it to Cross on to Farron Ray. Has the runner. Griffin, good build-up. Chris Grant from 50. We're level again. He's still got something at 33.
And that's Drew Petrie's man, is Chris Grant. What Chris Grant did at the start of the game, started at full forward. Then what he does during play, he gets back behind the ball and then just drifts forward. And on that occasion, lost Drew. You see there, Drew went to put some pressure on. But Chris Grant's been around for a long time. Very smart footballer as he jogs back to full forward now.
Yeah, I'd say he's going to chop them up if he can go into the midfield. But we saw Ryan Griffin coming off that half-back line there. Just not allowed to, shouldn't be allowed to run as freely through the centre as he was.
Swallow.
You've dragged it in, knock it out there.
You hear the umpire's call. He does knock it out. Hale is brought down by West. Sinclair trying to find an opening. Extricates himself well. Makepeace, dangerous kick. Bulldogs with numbers. They're essentially starting 2-on-1 with Hargrave and Harris alongside of Thompson. Here's Hargrave going wide. Gilby.
And in today's football, you just can't turn the ball over like that.
On the southern wing, it's Lindsay Gilby stopping, feeding Boyd to half forward. And the kick dies on its way to Brad Johnson. Ryan Griffin getting plenty of the footy early.
Brady Rawlings tagging Scott West. He's had 3 possessions, but his protege in Cross is up to 6.
Bulldogs with 35 hand passes to 15 already in the opening 10 minutes. Here's Rowan Smith. Off balance, tumbling it inside 50. Well read, though, by Daniel Pratt. Former Brisbane Lion, albeit briefly, just the 3 matches, going to a former Eagle in Casey Green. Now Petrie towards Brown. Good spoil in from the side in the end, Griffin, but Brown did well to keep his feet. Now he's got it. Feeding it to his skipper. Gilby with the tackle. Play on is the call here, and we should get a bounce.
9.
Change for the Roos coming up. Wells will have a spell with Harding coming on as we have a look at it again. Ball coming clear in the tackle, therefore no whistle.
Knock it out, well done.
Nice pickup, Michael Ferrito in his 50th AFL game. Waxes with Simpson.
Kick.
And the lead was perfect. Those Bulldogs, 2 of them, caught behind as Thompson an explosive initial couple of steps, and the kick was good.
Well, that's twice it's happened that the bloke who's in the space is actually just thinking he's there by himself. He's not going to be, the Kangaroo player isn't going to kick it to the man in space. He's got to be aware that Thompson is going to be lurking from somewhere.
It was a beautiful kick. What they were probably trying to protect, Jared, was the longer one, but Thompson's smart enough to know that and led up to the footy. Beautiful kick.
That is 2 supreme set shots from Nathan Thompson. We've been talking a lot about goal kicking over the last fortnight in the AFL. Well, they can take a leaf out of that man's book with those first 2 shots.
Yeah, that was just pure goal kicking, hit the sweet spot. Still maintain if you're going to be in front, you've got to guard that space, and you've got to have an awareness about where the forward is as well as where the football is.
Well, what they seem to be doing is both standing together. They've got to spread apart. Otherwise, playing into there's no use having the loose man there if you're standing together.
Nice start for Nathan Thompson with a couple of goals. Kangaroos playing at this ground for the 3rd time this year. They lost in rounds 5 and 11. The Bulldogs, not a great record here, 4 and 7 since the start of 2003.
Playing balls out. You're over it. He's back. Brent
A
Harvey.
push, and it's a Kangaroo free for Harvey.
50. Brent Harvey. Don't grab or hold. Want to run? Let him run.
Goes quickly. Good build-up. Corey Jones can kick a footy. 55 out on the run. Getting back there, Makepeace. The kick had too much carry. As we check in at ground level with Scott Cummins.
Well, those 2 kicks from Nathan Thompson were absolutely magnificent. The breeze is really, really swirling hard, so anything that sits up in the air is not going to be able to hold its line. So Nathan Thompson off to a flyer.
McMahon, kick towards the wing. The spoil from Harvey. Boyd the pick up. The handball for Rowan Smith. Quick adjustment to get around for Rito. Hurries the kick towards Grant, but it drifts away, and Petrie's got it.
Nice fight back, though, Petrie.
Yeah.
Harding has loose men streaking to half forward. He goes to the centre corridor for Rito and McMahon over the top. Simpson working hard at the coalface. Rawlings, good hands. Green defers to Corey Jones. Good kick. And Hale thought about playing on. Will go back and have a shot.
And that was a good kick, and well, that's 3 times now where the Kangaroos have come into their forward 50 and been able to pinpoint their forwards. And that's the difference in today's footy, as I said before, Jared, is if your disposals are hitting their targets, usually means you'll usually have a fairly competitive game.
Recruited out of Broadbeach in Queensland, so not exactly familiar with these sort of conditions. Hale from 50. Kick is good. Kangaroos get 2 in a row, and they're out by 13 points.
Well, it's been a really good start by the Kangaroos. Been impressed by their attack on the footy and their movement. They're making a couple of interchange. Adam Simpson comes off now, and he's been replaced by a taller player in Ben Swartz. But I noticed also Troy Makepeace came off with Rowan Smith, and Glenn Archer came on. Brett Montgomery on for the Bulldogs. But it's been good delivery, good movement, and a well-structured counter plan against Rodney Eade.
We've seen the Bulldogs play this type of game early in first quarters. It's a bit of Russian roulette footy at the moment. There's a lot of loose plays. The Kangaroos have found themselves in space. You get the feeling they'll be a little tighter at the start of the second quarter.
Boyd, West, cross, delivery towards Montgomery. Grant, great handball for Brad Johnson. And he'll dribble it into the goalpost.
When it is that way, Russian roulette, though, it just makes those stop plays so important, doesn't it?
Yep, it does.
And this goal effectively came as a result of a good clearance by the Bulldogs. No real resistance to passing. Geez, he went close to the line there.
Clearances running 8-4 in the Kangaroos' favour. Was that touched? Yes. Right on the line. A lunging Michael Ferrito ensures a boundary throw-in and not a Bulldog free.
Not so sure about this one. Oh, I think he was over.
Yep.
Yeah, that was right in front of me. That was over.
We need 4 boundary umpires, Scotty.
He couldn't have been any closer.
Too much running.
Hale.
He was intimidated by Scotty.
High.
Sitting right there.
Well, Scotty could have helped the boundary ump out and just let him out to dry. Bulldogs with Cross on the wing. Now Power.
Don't grab.
He's got to go deep to the centre corridor. Montgomery getting back. Oh, Archer. Into the unknown, as he so often does. They nearly have a moment of anxiety, but Harvey clears.
Well, that's what's made Glenn Archer such a great player over a lot of years for the Kangaroos. No fear.
And look at it, the springboard from defence to attack, although the Grant kick missed Rawlings running forward. Hargrave for Eagleton. Griffin back for Hargrave. End-to-end stuff now. It's a foot race. Here's Brad Johnson. Can he get around Pratt? Drives it inside 50. Watt and Hale getting back. Will they concede a behind? They don't. Hale's kick slightly dangerous. Gilby couldn't quite grasp it. Now Schwartz, head down, does well. Rides the tackles. Gives it to Sinclair for Lee Brown.
Desperation is just significantly in favour of the Kangaroos, and they are much cleaner at the moment.
Simpson doubles back quickly. Centering ball, Bulldogs numbers. Griffin getting a stack of it early. This will be possession number 8. Johnson and Watt. Watt with a timely spoil. Caught. Schwartz read it well. Goes deep. Thompson one out. Good spoil from Harris. Brown takes them on, brought down. Now Cooney on the rebound. From Griffin. Good option out wide. If it sits for Ray, they're a chance. It does, and he takes off. To his right, the handball over the head of Boyd. Boyd, Cross and Griffin between them already 25 touches. This is a deep one. Hale should spoil. Boundary throwing.
Interesting to compare the style of the Bulldogs this week compared to last week. They were playing on a bigger ground last week, and they actually looked for a small, shorter kick in.
Yeah, I'm looking. Never touched her though, Brad. Never touched her.
This week at the MCG, slightly smaller ground than Subiaco. They're bombing it, and they haven't got the blokes up forward to mark it.
Skipper knocking it down. Hale with a good clearance. Doesn't reach the boundary line, so Montgomery bangs it back, and Grant's going to fly. Petrie the spoil. Oh, Wells. Slick little pick up there. Here's Schwartz.
Got nothing on centre wing to kick to.
It is going to be a taxing afternoon on the legs. And the Bulldogs, it's all been about having a light recovering week after that terrific win at Subi last Sunday. Cross.
Great recovery, Clinton.
Good balance. Goes to Eagleton. Sold Sinclair a dummy. Drives it long. Good position is Grant. Goes to ground. Play on the call. Archer hurdling over Robbins. Free kick.
Downfield. Drag down.
Against Robbins for dragging down Archer, so Petrie will take it.
It was well done by Petrie. He wasn't in the box seat. Chris Grant was. Had him under the ball, but backed into that contest, and you can see why that was paid down the field. But doing a good job down there, Petrie. I like the look of him. He's giving them some run off the full back line and half back line.
Well, they've been toying with him and still working out, is he a better key forward or a ruckman? It might be neither. It might be the defensive post. We'll wait and see, as there's a couple of desperate players on the northern wing. Several of them, and Cross got the handball to McMahon, and he pats it out of bounds.
Well, this is just a great effort by the Kangaroos. They are putting enormous pressure on the ball carrier for the Bulldogs, and we saw there Jordan McMahon. He had 3 to beat, and he was hassled and harried across the line.
His Cooney's hard to recognise with a bit of shoe polish in the hair.
Might cost him votes. Little handball from Corey Jones to the advantage of Harvey. That's an awkward one to try and stop beneath the members, and it's over for a boundary throw in. Time on opening term. It's the Kangaroos by a couple of goals as you check some changes. Simpson getting a spell as well. Swallow back on. Cross has had 11 possessions already. A lot of handballs close in. This time he got a tap away. Soccer off the ground by Gian Syracuse is effective.
Tap.
Johnson, will he get it back from Montgomery? He wants it. The kick's in his direction. Brad Johnson at full stretch takes it.
And that to me is where they're most dangerous, the Bulldogs. That space 30 metres out from goal.
Kick towards Gian Syracuse. Lays it off for Montgomery. Handball to the running Morris. Hurried shot at goal is hooked for a behind. Only kicked 1 goal in his 31-game career, Dale Morris.
Yeah, you got a couple, Baz.
It was a good run, though. Don't forget, Clinton, he's playing deep in defence, and he's pushed up on Grant, nearly had a snag.
Kick towards the wing, West. Winning a free, no advantage.
He could play for another 5 years, Scotty West. The way he's going.
Can't slow down when you're slow.
And he just might. Pratt appealing for the free, trapping it in underneath Robbins.
Back in.
And a bounce.
Push it back into him. It's hit the ground.
It looks like Harris has got the job on West now.
And a bloke who's got the job down here, Brady Rawlings, has got the job on Scott West. He's trying to get back on the ground, and West has snuck on, and he can't get back on there to pick him up again.
Jones the clearing kick only as far as Morris. Now Gilby.
Yeah, this is just banging it into a nest of Kangaroo players. They've just got to get smarter than this, the Kangaroos, if they're going to overcome this tactic. Sorry, the Bulldogs.
Yeah. The thing about the Kangaroos, though, they're getting numbers behind the ball, but as they look up, this is where they're falling down, Jared. They haven't got options pushing up from half forward, although, as I say that, player free.
And he's sneaking forward, Andrew Swallow. And unselfishly just goes short to the leading green, and he can have a shot at goal here.
Let's go behind in case he plays.
Yeah, that was one where Swallow just snuck out the back, and he was a target. But where the Kangaroos seem to be falling down, and don't get me wrong, they're off to a great start, and their attitude is certainly on song today. But they have fallen down a couple of times coming off half back. They haven't had the options.
Well, Green's kick is short. Where are the Crummers? They weren't expecting him not to make the distance. Griffin caught. Harding, good tackle. Boundary throw in.
Thank you.
Casey Green's kicked that 30 metres. Not sure what happened there. He got the wrong club out.
Rawlings got straight back on the ground, made a beeline for Scott West, and wearing him like a glove.
Grant, always dangerous in these tight situations in front of goal. All going nowhere in a hurry. Swallow and West will get a bounce at the City in goal. Coming up on 3 minutes remaining in the opening term.
Coming straight back this line, guys. Straight back to the line.
Kangaroos searching to keep that finals door ajar. They're 4-9, so the task still a mighty difficult one. But if they keep on winning, who knows? They haven't given up yet. Mad scramble. Skipper clears it in a hurry. And crunch. Makepeace and Montgomery. Archer knocks it wide for Petrie. A little fumble, a second fumble. Bulldogs close. Montgomery loses it out to Petrie.
She's hot today, the Kangas.
And Rawlings drives it deep. Thompson couldn't get there. Cooney at full stretch likewise. It bounces back to him. And now they'll go. And they're dangerous on the counter punch. This is Farron Ray. Drifting it out to the southern wing for Gilby. He's going to have Robbins lead. He goes to him, and he's got him.
Well, there's absolutely nothing you can do about that when the ball comes down with no real pressure. It's a beautiful kick. You can see there, Pratt with him all the way, but the kick was just too good.
Just wonder what Rodney Eade would say about that passage of play, because when they had the ball clear in the middle, they elected to ignore Johnson straight up the middle. Only had two players between the goal mouth and the centre, and they went wide. Clearly they've got a shot, but it's on a fairly acute angle.
Robbins from just inside the 50, missing to the near side.
I think in general, well, that's obviously a decision-making thing of the player that's got it. If he sees Johnson has got a break, well, you generally have to go to that option first. But if a player can play on, as happened on that occasion, the one that he flared out wide, if he can play on, well, it's generally not too bad. And it's probably Robbins' lead that made him go wide.
Makepeace told to play on.
You're right, mate.
Switches. Schwartz will go short as well for Archer. It travels the required 15. Stabs it. Back towards the middle. Schwartz caught. Sinclair.
Don't argue.
Yeah. Got rid of Boyd well. Kicks up towards the 50. Power the spoil. Grant and Green. Green finds an opening.
Got more,
Harding running to the goal square. Touched off the boot. Harding's going to try a snap. Can Rawlings fly and mark it? No. A behind.
That was smart work by Scott West. He knew that Rawlings was somewhere behind him, and he just had a very quick look across his shoulder, blocked his space. May come up on our video replay. We'll get to it later.
Good call from the umpire there. Touched off the boot. Gilby getting his hand to it.
Good kick out across the barrier.
Robbins for Ray. Oh, shaped a handball to Eagleton and darted the other way. Terrific opening term for Farron Ray continuing. Good carry here. Still going. Now skipper the target. Man in front, McIntosh couldn't mark. Makepeace for Petrie. Back for Makepeace. Final minute. It's been an entertaining opening term. Sinclair. A late goal either way would be crucial. Can the Roos get it? Grant goes deep. Harding in front. Harris from behind affects the spoil. Griffin feeds McMahon. 20 seconds to go. To the wing. Good ball. They're a chance. Gian Siracusa for Rowan Smith. Will he take Makepeace on? He waits for his great mate. And Johnson leads to the pocket. The kick sits up. And it's a good mark by Watt. And that'll be quarter time at the MCG with the Kangaroos leading by 11 points.
He's done a good job, Shannon Watt, on Brad Johnson. I think that he's got the pace to go with Brad. I'm sure he'll fight back in this second quarter. But look, we said from the start of this game, the Kangaroos look on song. The pressure they're putting on, they're hitting targets in their forward 50. The game on, Jared.
Oh, no doubt about that. It's been a great quarter by the Kangaroos. They've pressured the Bulldogs into some errors. The Bulldogs look like they're overusing the footy in some parts and going too long into the forward line. But Dean Laidley, he'd be thrilled and he'd be pumped.
He's chewing that gum with some venom. They've got to win to keep their season alive. 11 points up at quarter time on Fox Footy Sunday.
With the loftiness of those positions, with a settling glare upon the mission, and a stretching neck of recognition. When the light that is on.
Windy afternoon in Melbourne at football's home ground. Kangaroos by 11 points at quarter time. 4-2 to 2-3. Nathan Thompson. 2 kicks, 2 marks, 2 goals. Jess Sinclair, 11 touches. Cross, Griffin and Boyd. Seeing plenty of it for the Bulldogs. At ground level, here's Scott Cummings.
Thanks, Glenn. Well, Dean Laidley fired up, animated. He was very, very excited. He congratulated each one of his boys individually, went through each one of them and was just wrapped with their endeavour in that first quarter. And why wouldn't he be? They were terrific. Rodney Eade interrupted each huddle, the forward, the mids and the backs, went to each one of them separately before he spoke to them as a whole. Really not happy with the long bombs to Matty Robbins, which Jared pointed out is taking away their crumbing option. He wants to be a bit smarter and to move it a lot quicker and with a lot more purpose. But it's fired up down here. It's fantastic.
It is a good one.
He should be fired up too. Wouldn't you be thrilled if you're the coach? You'd set yourself for this big day and they've just come out, Wayne, and delivering everything you've asked from them.
Yeah, no question about that, Dean Laidley. Look, and let's be honest, the last 2 wins haven't been against great opposition. So to come out and fire up against the Bulldogs today has been a supreme effort. It's whether they can carry that on for the rest of the game.
3 matches today to conclude round 14. Let's check in the scores at the SCG and the Telstra Dome. Replays coming up after us here at Fox Footy. So if you don't want to know the scores right now, look away. Here at the MCG, it's the Kangaroos 4-2, leading the Bulldogs 2-3. And out of the middle, or the clearances, the Kangaroos winning the stoppages 12-6. The Bulldogs with 11 more possessions, but that's been the weight of hand passes. They've had 23 more handballs across the opening term. Clearances, a tick for the Kangaroos.
And just to explain further what Scotty was talking about, if you're lining up in a forward line, you've got basically one player there, and you long bomb the ball to him rather than short pass it to him or actually give it to him so he's almost guaranteed a mark, there is no support at ground level. And we saw that with the West Coast last week, Clinton, where they long bombed the ball and it was the Dogs who had all the crummers. So if the ball was brought to ground, well, you're actually outnumbered. It's a strategy that requires total possession, and that includes the last kick to the forward line. And that's where I think this MCG has sucked in the Bulldogs to some degree, because they think they are capable of getting it from around the top of the square into the goal square, and yet it's setting them up rather than just playing their smart football where they keep possession.
Harris back alongside of Thompson. Roos to the left, Bulldogs to the right. Second term. Live and commercial free on Fox Footy as Street and Hale contest in the middle. West just shoveling it forward. Harvey in the way for the time being. Green getting in front. Cross. Handball straight to Ferrito. Quick hands was a good give to Brown. And what a superb pass. And Thompson again. That 1-2 step Far too quick for Harris, who couldn't react in time.
And Jared, that was a great example of what you spoke about in the first quarter, where coming through the corridor, Brown had an option here. He could have gone to the handball over the top for the player that would have run in and had a shot from around 50, or used the option Thompson on a fast lead, and that was the correct option.
Hooks this kick, and he'll be disappointed with a miss there. 2 goals, 1. His day so far. 2 straight kicks, the difference. As Sam Power prepares to bring it back into play. Bulldogs huddling up at centre-half back. Roos manning up, so someone will get free. It's McMahon short. Power, though, gee, dangerous. Goes to the big man street. Awkward one to trap, and he throws it out. Free kick coming up here for Hale. Just a fraction too far out to score.
They've got a chance here, the Kangaroos. They've got, I reckon they've got the Bulldogs on the ropes to some degree. They're really flat. I'm sure they'll come again, but right now they're flat. They've got to put some scoreboard pressure on.
Hale's kicks. A poor one. Even by his own admission. Griffin's handball makes Boyd work. Little scrappy to start the second term.
That breeze seems to have blown up a little bit. That ball kicking out from full back held up a lot.
A couple of metres, please.
Not quite like the benign conditions at the Telstra Dome, where the Bulldogs have an excellent record this year. Ferrito, you heard the call. Duck play on. Grant back for Ferrito. Now Sinclair. Chips it inside 50. Hargrave in from the side.
That's great defence. He left his man. His man was Lee Brown, and he charged in and took the mark, supported his player.
Cooney, short, Street. Power. Happy to go wide. This is Gian Siracusa. She carries it a long way. Now long kick towards the 50. 2-on-2. Archer getting in front. Johnson was roving to Grant.
That was another example of the ball just holding up in the breeze, and Glenn Archer reading it best.
Good kick out wide as well for Petrie.
It's funny though, Wayne, it's affecting the Bulldogs, who are renowned for their skills, more than it's affecting the Kangaroos at the moment.
Petrie bounces it to Hale. Kicks hurriedly towards half forward. Morris with the spoil. Gian Siracusa goes without it. Opens the door. Ferrito for Wells. Here's a goal coming up. Oh, the ball just wouldn't bounce his way. Good heavens. You don't see Daniel Wells do that running into an open goal.
Just goes to show you, even the most skilled players can make simple mistakes.
Ferrito takes on West. Still a chance. Wells, chance for atonement perhaps. Corey Jones hooks the kick out of bounds on the full. Have we seen this often? Not really.
May have had its bent.
The eyes had lit up with the prospect of a 3-goal lead.
Yours.
Ray. Oh, gee, didn't seem to be a great deal in it. Downfield is the free. Ray bounced up quickly as Johnson delivers to Grant.
Good effort, Petrie.
Good spoil. Rawlings in. Sinclair's getting a bit of it. Out wide. Pratt got to get it on. Petrie about to be under pressure. He's caught. He's lying over it.
Umpire.
A bounce.
Holding it. Matthew's holding the ball. There was no high tackle at all. Matthew was holding the ball. No, he never touched you in the head at all, Drew. He actually did.
Here's the bump. A fraction late. Harvey dragged off it.
Brian, you threw yourself forward.
Sinclair for Grant. Now, got to hit this target. It's his skipper, and he does. Ferrito has to wait. Morris in from the side, holds off Ferrito well, enables cross together. Advantage play on as McMahon goes to Brad Johnson.
Smarter kick. I know it was a pinpoint pass, but they're at their best, the Bulldogs, when they're kicking a ball 40 metres. When they go longer, they seem to miss the crumbs.
And that's a perfect kick for Street.
That was a beautiful kick, and Brad Johnson just held it up beautifully there. Street stayed back around the 50. Hale thought he was going to go deep, which they've done on numerous occasions, but Brad Johnson smart enough to kick it back to Street, who was by himself.
Street plays better when he's angry. Asked how does he get angry, he said, I just get the boxing coach to bash me around the ears a few times in the warm-up. Well, maybe a few too many times bashed around the head there. The radar was off. It's a behind. Too much boxing in your pre-match warm-up, Wayne?
No, I used to do it during the week, but not
generally
necessarily
Saturdays and Sundays for one.
No, during the week, but not before a game, although it very common these days. A lot of players do it before a game to warm up.
It's one of the best cross-fitness regimes.
No question
you try
about
and
that.
box on the heavy bag for 3 minutes and do half a dozen of those rounds. It's harder than a long-distance run.
It's a great way to get your fitness and not necessarily be on your legs too much.
Very patient build-up here by the Kangaroos, but a turnover now. Griffin. 3 kicks and 11 hand passes already, his return. And he's going to bomb it long to a contest as well. Roos have got numbers in front again as Archer couldn't hang on this time. Burrito, oops, dangerous one. Pratt lost it. Smith pushed off it. Corey Jones is there with Archer. We'll get a bounce.
No chance, no chance.
Well, the Bulldogs got to do something about regaining control of this match. I reckon the Kangaroos are playing it on their terms at the present time. And the Bulldogs have been masters at, I think, over the last 2 months of playing it the way they want to set it up.
Haven't kicked a goal in 25 minutes of playing time, bracketing the quarter-time siren, the Dogs. Wells, good handball, got it for Schwartz. Takes off with a bounce. Short to midfield for Grant. Now, men streaking forward. Thompson, the obvious target. And he takes mark number 4.
And the example is always there. The Bulldogs are kicking into a crowded forward line, and the Kangaroos rebound and get it into an open forward line.
And the other great example, Shannon Grant getting up, playing on quickly. The forward leads to where the fact that he's played on. Beautiful kick. Nathan Thompson all the space because of the fact he's played on.
2 goals, 1. As we said, though, a fluky breeze out there, swirling around. Therefore, this one's still a test. Distance should be no problems. 48 out. Kick on its way. Holding up. Got the carry. Thompson's got 3. And the Roos are out by 17 points.
And you could have read Nathan Thompson's lips there as he ran up to Shannon Grant. He said, beautiful kick, mate.
And it was good passage of play. I mean, don't forget this is on the rebound of an attack inside the Bulldogs forward 50, where the Kangaroos had plenty of players and the Bulldogs also had some players. A rebound straight up the corridor, and there was Nathan Thompson.
If you get service like that in a restaurant, you'd leave a sizable tip. Thompson with 3. The Kangas with the last 3 of the match. Any sign of rain, Scotty?
Not yet, so just hang in there, though. I reckon we're half a chance to make your dreams come true.
Clearances for the Roos. Jones for Makepeace. 55 out. Unguarded goal square. Griffin getting back. Oh, and it's set up. And he forces it across the line. Only thinking of the Farmers, though, Scott. 5-4 to 2-4.
Hold it there.
Ray. Out wide. Street. Seeing a bit of it in this second quarter.
I think it wouldn't hurt the Kangaroos, the Bulldogs, just to chip the ball around a bit. Everybody to start regaining their posture or regaining their composure to some degree, because they are playing at too high a rate for the way they're set up.
Kangaroos getting numbers back. 16 now in the Bulldogs attacking half of the ground, hence this mucking around little passage of play. Harris trying to dance away from Wells. Gian Siracusa. Griffin
Short
goes long. Hargrave or Brad Johnson, the attempted flyers, and for the Kangaroos it's the 100 gamer in Watt.
It's an amazing comparison. I mean, last week they would have kicked that to Chris Grant, who was free. He has a shot at goal. This time, under pressure, the blind long kick, and the Kangaroos are just dominating because of it.
Lee Brown at full stretch, good mark. Bulldogs getting back quickly, so Brown will be happy to be patient for a moment before kicking towards Grant. Can Makepeace run onto it before Gian Syracuse can't. Now Harris for cross. McMahon finds an opening. Target Brad Johnson. Pratt. Got a bit of banter going on behind the play. Harding. Simpson. This is a promising build-up. Schwartz, nice dummy. Chip kick wide. Oh, the opponent there, Gilby, slipped over. Green couldn't hang on to the mark.
Didn't control the mark. He didn't control it, Casey. Mark's there. He didn't quite control it long enough, mate.
Michael Vozzo provides the soundtrack. Not paid.
Good decision.
And a real let-off for the Dogs.
Eagleton blazing away to half forward. Made it awkward for Grant. Does well to hold them up, though, because Smith for cross. Chip kick for Cooney was clever. Lights have just been turned on here at the MCG with Adam Cooney having to kick from about 50 at left half forward.
Mark's here.
Has kicked 17 goals for the season. There's Cross, you see, with the
clever
nice
kick.
setup. Well, it's an important one. They haven't kicked a goal since the 10-minute mark of the opening term. We're now 12 minutes into the second quarter.
Don't go over it.
Cooney's kick. Missing to the near side. Bulldogs with a zone. Makepeace managing to find an option in McIntosh. Short to a one-on-one. Good spoil by Hargrave. Rawlings kept his feet well and slid nicely into it. Back for McIntosh. Tumbles it towards Brown.
Got to do better than that, Lee Brown. I mean, they've got the Bulldogs on the ropes at the moment. You've got to make them pay.
West for his protege in Cross. Now Hargrave. Bulldogs can look to get some run here. Ray's got Griffin in support. Slipped as he thought about giving it to him. So again he goes long. Kangaroos. Petrie getting back, playing well.
Looks comfortable back there, Drew.
This is a good option. Simpson out wide. Will it sit for him? Swallow wants it at half forward. He handballs to Rawlings. And he's tied up.
Knock it out. He dived on it.
He's pretending to try and knock it out, but he wasn't really wanting to.
He dived on it.
Now, did he dive on it?
Just had to hit the target there, Adam Simpson.
Bulldogs away with Eagleton.
Oh, hello.
And a Bulldog's gone down. Rawlings getting rid of West.
Umpire's blowing the whistle, has he not?
He played the advantage. And the Kangaroos relieved. You see Rawlings and West. There it is there. Scotty playing it up, but the whistle went. They chose to play on. Griffin. Oh, Wells.
Great work rate here for the Kangaroos. They deserve to be further in front than they are, and I think it's only a matter of time the way the Dogs are playing.
Well, they might improve on the lead here. Harvey, Makepeace, has support. Jones wants to use the left. Will he have a shot? He does. Coming back. Not enough.
Just a couple of handballing errors from the Kangaroos when they've had time and space. Not difficult handballs.
It's been 1-3 to 2 behinds. The Roos way in this second quarter. Their lead, 3 straight kicks as McGuinness fumbles the marking attempt. Paddles it back for Smith. Down the line for Johnson. Watt right on his hammer. 2 milestone men today.
This is the sloppiest I've seen the Bulldogs for 2 months. 50% of the credit goes to the Kangaroos, and I reckon 50% of the problem is the Bulldogs themselves.
Thompson with mark number 5. Struggled to make the distance with his last kick, albeit a goal. So he handballs this one to Shannon Grant. He lines up for a 4-goal lead and delivers it. Harris, in fact, with the kick. And the Kangaroos are 4 goals clear.
And this is more reflective, I think, now the scoreboard of what we're seeing in front of us. The Bulldogs have had plenty of the footy, but they are just not the same well-oiled machine that we've seen over the last couple of months. Big challenge coming up for the Bulldogs. They'll come back. But what a chance now for the Kangaroos. They have really worked hard. Good game plan going in, and the way that the players have responded, I think, has been superb.
And the old adage is going to be brought up, Jared, the fact that the Bulldogs played in a bit of heat last week against West Coast, had a good win against what many consider one of the better sides in the competition.
Eagleton breaking clear. This would be the quickest of replies. He hooks it.
Holding each other, Robbo.
And they were at pains to point that out this week, weren't they? That we're going to have a light week on the training track. We're not going to suffer an emotional letdown. At the moment, it's the Kangaroos looking for their third consecutive win.
Kick it now, Glenn. Play on.
To the northern side of the ground, Simpson. The third-year skipper does well. Harris for Harvey.
It'll be good to watch, though, to see whether the Kangaroos can maintain the pressure and whether or not the Bulldogs can get themselves out of this position, because it looks to me like everyone's trying to do it individually rather than working collectively to get the next goal.
Skipper driving it long. Montgomery and Sinclair. Good spoil by the Roo. McGuinness.
Score here.
Rowan Smith. Will he go himself? He does. From 50. Great goal. That breaks the drought and closes the margin to within 17 points.
And we spoke about Rowan Smith at the start of the game, Jared. He's a player that and well renowned for kicking those goals outside 50, and you saw that he got that time and space. He was never going to miss. That is one skill that he's been very good at over his career. And we spoke about he's starting a lot more on the bench these days, but I think he can go on for another year.
I'd like to see him play another year, but he really just has to have a good finish to the season, I think, just to make sure that there's no question mark about his longevity in the game. He's been a great player, and I mean that, a great player for the Western Bulldogs, and I think there's too much excitement around for him to put his position under pressure.
Grant wrapped up by West. Terrific tackle. Ray stolen by Harris. Kick out wide. Power getting over the shoulder of Swallow. Swallow goes quickly in the Harding direction, and there's a free against McMahon.
You've grabbed his arm, pulled it in.
McMahon not happy.
Good decision from the umpire. Held the arm. Let it go right at the last minute, but Harding not able to get his hands up. Therefore, a free kick.
Has kicked 14 goals, 6 this year, Lee Harding.
It's amazing when your side's on and the collective is on, these ones go through and they miss when you're not.
Just drifts across the face.
Thought he might have buried that one.
6-6 plays 3-6. And 50. Lee Brown ran between Green, who was on the mark, and Lindsay Gilbey. There you see it. Our Fox Footy team missing nothing this afternoon.
I reckon Lee Brown needs to do some history, because Jim Stein cost the Demons a reasonable opportunity with that same issue.
Could be costly. Eagleton on the run, albeit on the boundary line from 50 with the goal of the day. Searching for a spark of the Bulldogs. May we present Nathan Eagleton.
And all of a sudden, the Bulldogs get 2 goals from nowhere, and they're back in this game.
Real challenge for the Kangaroos. They've set it up with just pure pressure, and 10 minutes to go, or even less in the second half. It's when the work rate really is being tested. That is a great goal from Nathan Eagleton. Quick transition from the Western Bulldogs. They're going to get their act together. I've got no doubt about that. It's a question, can the Kangaroos keep the pressure up?
Well, we've entered time on now of the second term, and it's going to be a crucial 4 or 5 minutes. Grant hits Brown on the chest.
5 metres here.
Needs to slot this one. That'll square the ledger.
Thank you.
Quick reply is what the Kangaroos need.
Good line. No closer on the side.
Former Fremantle docker for 63 games. Now in his 80th in a Kangaroo jumper, Lee Brown. To the punt road end. And he delivers a goal. Good telling response from the boys from Arden Street.
In Lee Brown, we know that he can go forward and kick goals. I remember back a few years ago playing against the Kangaroos for the Crows, kicked 5 goals on that day, so he's capable of kicking a bag. And with him playing well, definitely gives Nathan Thompson a chop out, and they need another avenue to goal. Can't have the reliance just on Thompson week in, week out.
Yeah, some serious grey skies. Scott Cummings reaching for his coat.
There's a freebie, though, out of the centre, wasn't it? It was a late tap, went forward, and Grant just ran towards goal.
Skipper. Good second effort from the Bulldog big man, but his blazing kick forward is marked by Archer. Harris. Little fumble. Pratt. McGuinness, great tackle. It's play on the call. Now a free kick for in the back. It's coming back to the Kangaroos.
A little bit lucky there, the Kangaroos.
I thought the Daniel Pratt handball looked a bit sus. In fact, it looked really sus.
It was a very good tackle. So the Roos get a break with Corey Jones now. A couple of kicks out from goal. Oh, going short. That's bad checking. Hale is free.
Well, he was by himself for a good 10 seconds, Hale.
Yep.
Waving his arms. Not one Bulldog player. A couple of players run past him to pick up other players, but left Hale in the corridor, which wasn't the right decision. Let the guy run wide and pick up Hale, and therefore the loose player would have at least been having a shot from the boundary line rather than where Hale is now.
Kicked one in the first term. This would be handy. Would restore that 4-goal advantage just inside the 50 on a windy day. He's pushed it out to the right.
I want to throw up a theory, Clinton.
Yep.
On the back of an old mate of all of ours, and David Hooks, who I worked in radio with for a decade. He had this theory about sides. The one that had the most long sleeves jumpers on would always lose. I reckon there is a new version. The club with the most people that are pointing, the most players out in the ground that are actually pointing, is generally losing.
All right, what's your stats tell you? Can we get champion data onto that?
I think at this stage the Dogs are well in front in the pointing stakes.
Here's McGuinness.
We saw it against the with the Cats last week. A couple of blokes got dropped because they were pointing.
Wells getting some heavy contact there. Archer playing for the line. Boundary throw in. It's a good struggle, this. And Glenn Archer's been through plenty of those in his now 287-game career. Hale knocked it down. Ferrito is there. Johnson from the boundary line. He often can conjure up something. Handball stolen by Makepeace. Bounces it to Corey Jones, and they clear the danger zone for the time being. Brown and McGuinness. Running onto it, McMahon. Advantage play on. Griffin. A lot of Kangaroos getting back, but Griffin's got Hargrave. The defender's got the mark.
Griffin getting plenty of it off half-back, up to 21 possessions.
Hargrave a fraction too far out. Brad Johnson, you can see at the top of the goal square, calling for it deep. So Hargrave does just that. It'll land in an easy position for the Kangaroos to knock across the line, which you guys will tell me is dumb. You either hit the top of the square or you kick the goal.
It really is a dumb kick, and you see so many players do it week in, week out, where they know they can't quite make the distance. They kick it to the square. Yep. It gets rushed through for a behind. It really is a dumb kick.
7-7 plays 4-7.
Got a couple. I got it.
Schwartz to Simpson, who overruns it. Here's Hargrave again.
Geez, good effort.
And around Grant. And a beautiful delivery for Johnson.
That's a smarter kick.
On the 50.
Now what will Brad Johnson do? Same location.
Scott Montgomery long.
So he hits the top of the square. And Makepeace gets back and takes a good mark.
Well, that was really for Adam Cooney. He just didn't make the beeline to that spot.
Minute to go, first half. Roos fumbling, coming out of defence. Sinclair, handy pickup, and he's got Schwartz on the northern side in a lot of space.
Go for a run.
Another goal here to the Kangaroos would really open it up.
Oh, that's a bold adventure. He's tripped. Boyd's tackle slipped down. A break for the Kangaroos with 30 seconds to go. Harris, Harvey.
It looks like Glenn Archer's in massive trouble with a broken arm or broken wrist.
So he's coming off. The Roos are a man down. The Bulldogs are going forward. Rowan Smith's got to beat a couple. Daniel Wills should be able to save the day. We'll check on Archer when the siren sounds. Here's Harris breaking away. 10 seconds to go. Final act of the second quarter. Is there a late goal to be had? Rawlings flares it out wide. Corey Jones. Is time going to beat them? Harvey. And the siren will beat them. As Glenn Archer makes his way off the ground, and in anyone's language, that does not look good.
No, it doesn't, and by the looks of things, it's either a broken wrist, Jared, or a broken arm, and things do not look good for Glenn Archer, which is a shame because he's been in good form. Today, things don't look. You don't like to see that.
No.
I'm not exactly sure. We'll bring you details as soon as we have it. But this was a great first half by the Kangaroos. They worked hard. They worked as a group. They've put the Bulldogs under some pressure, and as yet, they haven't been able to respond. They've got some thinking to do at half-time, the Bulldogs, if to maintain their winning run.
And with the possibility of the weather closing in, it could be a very intriguing second half coming up. Drew Petrie's been good. The Kangaroos lead by 3 goals at half-time on Fox Footy Sunday.
On my street.
Good saving mark by Shannon Watt there late in the second term. Kangaroos yet to emerge. Bulldogs have been out there for a little while. Second half coming up. Kangaroos by 18 points. One injury, though. The, well, sickening blow to Glenn Archer, it would appear. Scott Cummings has more.
Thanks, Glenn. Well, I've got a feel-good story for you and a feel pretty ordinary story. Let's start with the good news first. The Western Bulldogs and their sensational major partner Lease Plan have started a program called Can the Kids, and it's to put a smile on faces of young kids who, through no fault of their own, are doing it pretty tough right now. So they're all over on my right shoulder here. They're having a great day at the footy, and so a little bit of a positive influence on the community that the Western Bulldogs and Lease Plan are doing. Terrific day for the kids. Now the bad news. Glenn Archer, as you just mentioned, he's gone off with a dislocated shoulder. Now they put it back in the rooms. His wife was there and his young daughter Abby. What happens, and Jared will probably go into a little bit more detail, but this is pretty barbaric, so if you're squeamish, just tune out for a second. They wrap the towel around the shoulder as it's synced back in his body, and they give it a good yank to rip it straight back in there. Archer, I don't think, flinched whatsoever, but a lot of the North Melbourne players were very interested in what was going on, and hopefully that doesn't distract them. So Glenn Archer, dislocated shoulder. He's had to put back in, but obviously you won't see him for about 3 or 4 weeks.
3 or 4 weeks, Scotty. I've been fortunate enough to have 3 or 4 dislocated shoulders, and I know how they're put back in, and it does not tickle at all. The good thing about it, Jared, as you would know, it's gone straight back in. It hasn't taken time. I think Cam Cloak from Collingwood actually did one a couple of weeks ago playing for Williamstown. 4 hours it took to get the shoulder back in. Had to
go to hospital
to get it put back in. That's when it's quite painful. So that's at least one positive, but not sure we'll see him in 3 or 4 weeks.
No, that's the question, mate.
He may decide, though, Jared, as you would know, you can play with them. He may decide to rest it for 3 or 4 weeks, come back and play with a loose shoulder for the rest of the year.
Before the start of the second half, let's update you on the scores from the SCG and the Telstra Dome. Replays to follow on Fox Footy, so if you don't want to know the scores right now, best you look away. Here at the MCG, Kangaroos 7-7, the Bulldogs 4-7. Players taking up their position for the start of the second half.
So how do you see this unfolding? Right now we've got Peter Street in the goal mouth, which is interesting because it means Wade Skipper is going to start in the ruck, which gives them a target for the long bomb, which is they either have to kick it short or they have to provide somebody down there for the contest. How else do you see it unfolding from a Kangaroos perspective?
Look, I just think for the Kangaroos, they have to keep applying the pressure because, as we know, this Bulldog outfit is a quality outfit. They will continue to run. They would have got a fair spray from Rocket Eade. He's renowned for giving his players a spray, and they'll come out fired up. And if the Kangaroos aren't on the ball as they were at the start of the game, the Bulldogs will knock them over.
Rowan Smith up on a wing. I think he's better when he's running at the goal rather than running away.
Second half underway on Fox Footy Sunday. McIntosh and Skipper, the ruckman, the ball going nowhere, will have a second bounce.
Who would have thought, with all their injuries, that the Bulldogs would be the ones stretching the opposition?
Yes. Strange juxtaposition here this afternoon. The Bulldogs aiming for 5 in a row for the first time in 4 years. But they've got some work to do, spotting the Roos a 3-goal start. And it's the Kangaroos heading forward with Hale, caught by Hargrave. A creative disposal.
That was a poor decision from the umpire. He guessed at that one. He was blinded. And that's where the umpire in the middle of the ground should have taken over.
Nothing there, Scotty. Thanks, Brady.
Michael Vozzo working with Damien Sully and Stephen Groh. Kangaroos in attack. Skipper. And that's a big call.
That's a big chance for the Kangaroos.
It's Lee Brown who will take it.
Well, did you have his jumper? I didn't have his jumper. I had his arm. No, he had his jumper, mate, like this. It winged out, mate. It was only a few moves from him, mate. Just make sure you allow him to go up for the ruck contest.
How things have changed. You're very silly.
You're very silly to Michael Vozzo.
May not have been that polite just a few years ago.
What a kick this. Opening minute, third term. Lee Brown unloads and misses to the right-hand side.
Have to nail them.
Did he have the jumper? Well, he had his arm.
Well, he said he had his arm.
Doesn't matter that part.
Doesn't matter whether he had his arm on the jumper. It was still a free kick.
Yeah.
Well, they've done the huddle. They've got 2 players who have burst out. Gilby, the best kick in the game, has got it, and they should be able to convert.
Big leap from Morris. Oh, Brown going in hard in the side, as you heard from the umpire. It's going to be a willing second half here at the MCG.
That was terrific play by Adam Simpson. Not too many players are capable of doing that. The way he read the ball, didn't give away a free kick, but able to spoil running back with a flight.
Brown and Skipper send it in the same direction. West dragged off it. Griffin's got it again. Through the legs of Ray. Brown the deflection. Simpson. Hurried kick forward. Play on the cool. Wills knocking it down. Harvey slapping it on. McIntosh unable to pick it up. Now the big man's got it. Caught by Griffin. Somehow gets it to the goal square. Thompson. Harvey. Harris concedes.
And Nathan Thompson absolutely spot on. He looked like he was dragged to the ground and didn't have the footy.
Well, we'll have another look at it.
Good tackle there.
Both holding on.
20 points is the Kangaroo lead. The most there's been today was 24 in the second term. Gee, Bulldogs mucking around with it here. Smith, Hargrave. Kangaroos are going to win out. Make peace. The defender drives it home. Big start to the second half. Oh, and Rowan Smith not happy with Casey Green.
No, I think a few of the Kangaroo players letting Rowan Smith know that he had a bit of a fumble there.
Well, he was in 2 minds. There was a handball, and then there was a change of game plan. But it wasn't just that. That is just indicative of the first 3 minutes we've seen. Once again, the Bulldogs can't get out of their own way. And the Kangaroos, all they've got to do now is apply a little bit of accuracy in front of goal, and they can blow this game apart in the next 10.
And I like the Kangaroos a lot more when Troy Makepeace is in the side. Struggled to get into the side earlier in the year, which was a big surprise to many, including myself. But back into the side and having a good game today. He would have enjoyed that goal. Doesn't get up forward too often.
This is the biggest lead of the afternoon, 26 points. Sinclair diving on it. We'll get a bounce.
It's a strange season, isn't it? Last week we went to Subiaco to watch the Bulldogs take on what we thought was their greatest challenge. So right now, this next 70 minutes of footy is a much bigger challenge for the Western Bulldogs because they've got to get their heads turned around.
Wells towards Brown. The Bulldogs, remember, harbouring top 4 aspirations and the double chance this season. This would really deliver a pretty fatal blow to that.
Well, that's right. It's becoming fairly tight from that sort of third position down to about 6th or 7th. Depending on results today, the Bulldogs drop this one.
And you can see this is the gamble that Rod Newt has taken. He's taken perhaps first tap of the ball away. They're getting flogged at clearances, so that's probably not giving them guarantees, but they're not winning clearances as well.
That trend continues. 23-8 on the clearance front now as Harvey drives it forward and McIntosh is marking at 50 and he's got men running to the goal square and he chips it to Hale and that's a good kick and Hale can line up for his second.
I reckon they've got to put Brad Johnson on the ball. They've got to do something radical here, the Bulldogs. They've got a couple of their best players, Grant and Johnson, in the forward line. They need something changed through the middle of the ground if they're to hang on here, because the Kangaroos, I reckon, are 5 minutes away from having an unassailable lead.
20 seconds gone.
David Hale is a player that I think's gone forward this year for the Kangaroos.
Former top 10 draft pick 5 years ago. It's an important kick. And he's missing to the near side.
A couple of misses to start this third term for the Kangaroos. Lee Brown and then that one.
And the Bulldogs conversely struggling to breach their forward 50-metre arc. Again the huddle. Gilby sharp. West. Wide for Cross. Now he can loop it over the top to McMahon. He does.
This will be the first time forward to the centre this quarter.
And we've been playing 6.5 minutes. McMahon wobbles it towards Grant. Petrie has given away a free. And Eagleton and Sinclair, just away from this, want to go on with it.
You're going to lose it. Jess, get off for us to be 50. Get off. Get off and pull me out.
And now Chris Grant.
He pulled me hair. Jess Sinclair said he...
Well, it couldn't have been the other way around.
Exactly right. I was about to say that exact thing.
I understand where Nathan Eagleton's at.
Yeah, same.
Well, Hale missed at one end. Will Grant essentially make it a 2-goal swing? You bet.
Big kick.
Big kick from the veteran. He's got 2. And ifs, buts and maybes, it should have been 32 points the difference. It's now 21.
And all of a sudden the Dogs will think they're a half a chance. Because the Kangaroos just have not made the most of it. But every time the Bulldogs have kicked a goal, the Kangaroos have this match gone back and answered very quickly.
And I think Chris Grant there, Con the umpire, the arm was definitely over the shoulder of Chris, but held the arm of Petrie as he went forward, and the umpire fell for the old 2-card trick.
Skipper. Can the Bulldogs start getting some clearances? No. Makepeace for Rawlings. Oh, the kick only as far as Gilby.
Just on that last goal from the Bulldogs, Jared, it still wasn't a pinpoint pass coming in. It was still a long bomb into the forward line.
Cooney wide ball, Morris.
Thanks, Shannon. Hold it there.
Will momentum start to swing? Montgomery. Wow. Strange. Harris.
There's no doubt that Rod Newt has said, work the ball forward, work it through the flood rather than bombing, because that's what we're seeing now. Control the tempo of this match.
Boyd for Johnson. It travels the required 15 metres. Swings it out wide. Hargrave. Now they've got some space, the forwards to lead. Robbins, though, going very wide, and the kick is wider still, and it's over for a throw-in.
That's the one, Jared, where you said that flaring it wide to a player, that doesn't allow the forward to lead up the corridor. He has to lead wide, and that's where the kick went, out of bounds.
Kangaroos clearing with monotonous regularity.
Well played.
Smith, clever. McMahon could go all the way. Harvey closes fast. McMahon runs around him. Is that 15? No. Gilby going forward. 2 in a row for the Dogs. Lindsay Gilby, who celebrated his 25th birthday yesterday, sparking the Bulldogs to within 15 points.
Much smarter play from the Western Bulldogs. They controlled it. They didn't bomb. They ran the ball inside the forward 50, and then they still didn't bomb. They actually set it up. It wasn't a great kick. It probably should have been a handball, Wayne, but in the end, they got Gilby shooting from 30 metres out rather than bombing it, and somebody trying to take a hanger.
And let's be honest, that's been one of their great strengths, to be able to manufacture goals through their half-backs and also their on-ballers. They don't necessarily rely just on their forwards.
And it came on the back of a skill error by the Kangaroos, a poor kick. They've got to continue their dominance, the Kangaroos, with these clearances, and they've got to respond now.
Still a long way to go. Good bounce. Skipper takes it. Wells knocked it away. Might get a second bounce. We will. Runners doing a lot of work, heading out there, passing on messages, making changes. Ray to the bench now with Gian Syracuse, McMahon and McGuinness for the Dogs. Kangaroos a man down with Glenn Archer to miss up to a month. As Scott Cummings told us, cross the hit out. Wells, though, in the way. Harvey now. Good kick for Ferrito.
Don't touch him, that's it.
Fraction too far out, you reckon? So he goes to the top of the square. McIntosh or Thompson at the back. Hargrave read it well. Harris. Can the Bulldogs get their running game going? Johnson for Hargrave. Forced wide. Now a long kick. Through the Seagulls on the outer wing. It's too far out on the full.
Just that ball coming into the Kangaroo forward line. McIntosh actually had the sit, if you like. Nathan Thompson, been in great form. Probably just had to protect the ruckman, not allow the defender to come over and put a spoil on.
Nathan, that's it.
Plenty of upside for Daniel Wells. He's had just 4 kicks, 5 handballs, but we haven't seen that blistering run through the middle that we know he's capable of.
A long kick here, takes it inside the 50 as Simpson flies, couldn't hang on. Johnson back from whence it came, and Wells will get another.
No, you took a dive, play on.
And he takes off. Wells goes deep. Oh, Hale's going to run onto it. Leaves it for Harding, and he snaps a goal. A steadier for the Roos.
It was probably good play in the end by Hale. Realised the smaller player in Harding. There's Adam Simpson going for a fly. But as you can see here, Hale, once the ball hits the ground, if he tries to bend, leaves it for the smaller player, puts the block on, and Harding kicks the goal. So good talk, good communication by the Kangaroo players.
And the lead is back to 21 points. McIntosh and Skipper. Bulldogs are going to get a clearance.
No.
West to Boyd, deep towards Grant. Petrie backed himself. Volleys it away. Robbins, though, will swing the Dogs inside 50. The target is Johnson. Takes it on the bounce. Gathers himself and bounces it through for a behind. There is a whistle for a push, though. The score will not stand.
One player that's also got some upside for the Kangaroos is Shannon Grant. He's got a tough job. Dale Morris is one of the most effective stoppers in the business at the present time.
And why did the umpire have to bring that ball back? It's quite obvious it was a free kick. The player was behind the mark. He played on quickly.
I think the goal umpire was asking, can I give the behind?
He must have been watching a different game.
Makepeace. They're just double checking. Grant. And we're going to bounce half forward for the Kangaroos. 12 minutes remain in the third quarter. The Bulldogs entering this round fifth on the ladder. 9-4. Griffin, their leading ball winner today with cross. Sinclair leading the way for the Roos, who began in 14th place this weekend, 4-9, looking for their third win in a row. They're 21 in front. They're at half forward. They've got the footy through Grant, working the hand passes around. Simpson, high ball, centering kick. Sinclair underneath it. Skipper crashes the pack. Power squirts it away, and Street does well. Smith. Power for Gian Siracusa. Eagleton's on. Chasing him is Brown. Eagleton goes short. First grab Grant, not the second play on. Brown to Makepeace.
Good rebound from the Kangaroo defence.
You can hear the Bulldog fans were unhappy. They've had 9 frees today, the Roos 11. This is Cross. Smith. Wells. Good deflection. And the steal. Hale. Cleverly done from the big man. Harding takes off. Loose man in the pocket. Good vision. And the kick is good. And now Andrew Swallow will line up to try and kick his first goal in AFL football. Bulldog fans wanted a free there.
No, I didn't think there was too much in that.
And now the 19-year-old out of East Fremantle, 43rd pick in last year's national draft. An important kick, and he misses wide. They've had some chances today to put them away as Rowan Smith takes a break. The margin 22. And the Bulldogs are making some errors today that we haven't seen over the last couple of months. Can they recapture the spark in the closing quarter and a half? They glum Rodney Eade.
I'm not sure what he was muttering there. Should go to air.
Street goes for the top. Hits it pretty well, but the Roos should have numbers. Makepeace. Caresses it to Sinclair. He chooses to go long. Thompson's got to beat 2, and Harris takes the mark.
Hold there. Brown.
Cross. Now they might be able to get some run. Boyd to his left. Has to stop, go backwards. Is that 15? Yes, Gilby.
Got Peter Street on the other side of the ground, so they've got an option to really cross it if they want.
That's a bomb, and Harris should mark. Well, he misread it, perhaps, with that swirling breeze. But he was the only man there, so has time to recover and take off. Grant in the middle. Rawlings. Jones. Now Harris again. Pops it up. Swallow's got to beat a couple and does.
I reckon right now the Kangaroos can put the Dogs to the sword. It's almost as if the Dogs are asking to be put to the sword, but if they allow this to keep going on, the Kangaroos, without taking their chances, and we've got another one coming up here, well, the Bulldogs, we know, can get on a bike and kick goals in a hurry. So they've just got to take their opportunities here, the Kangaroos.
A good setup, leading to Swallow. WA's captain in the under-18 competition last year, and again he's hooking the kick. And it's through for another behind. So they continue to leave the door ajar. 9-12 to 6-7.
Just here behind you.
Boyd breaks from the huddle. Now Morris has done likewise. Here he goes. This looks better. Montgomery could go all the way to the 50. Goal square's unguarded. It'd be a team lifter, and it's touched with a metre to spare by a lunging Daniel Pratt.
She's good rebound out of defence too by the Kangaroos.
Jones, short. Okay, Petrie.
Right there.
Phew.
Street the spoil, the tackle, Brown's handball out of play, boundary throw in.
He's become a tackling machine, Peter Street, over the last couple of weeks.
Here's the lunge from Pratt, timed it to perfection.
He had another 15 or so metres he could have run in, Brett Montgomery.
There's a push and a Kangaroo free.
Put your hand in his back, mate. You're pushing him off balance with your hands in his back.
Hale gets the free. Pretty clear.
Let's go, David! Play on!
Told he's off. So he just lobs it inside the 50, and Grant was always going to outmark Makepeace. Well, again, we question, have they got the run? They've got the space. Brad Johnson. Now, it'll be Cooney and Ferrito at half forward if he kicks it to them. He backs himself, though, and delivers to Cooney. He's too far out to score.
This is where they've made all their errors, though, from 55, 50 metres out. Got to find another target short.
It's Robbins and Pratt in the goal square. He goes short to Street, and that's good running from the big man, Peter Street. He chooses to provide the option inside 50, and now he's lining up for his first goal, and it would be an important one.
It was good run by the big fella. He's in the defensive 50 just 30 seconds ago. Decided to push forward, make David Hale accountable, but Chris Grant's decided that the Kangaroos is starting to get a bit of the ball inside their forward 50, so he parks himself in the defensive 50.
And the former Cat splits the middle. The Bulldogs close to within 16 points. Time on third quarter.
And Hale been taken off the ground, probably because of the fact he wasn't quite there with Street.
The trend continues down here on the bench too. Scott West comes off for a break. Brady Rawlings follows him straight to the bench.
I think it's a good move, Chris Grant in defence as well. They just have not had the same ability to take the ball forward, but good move by the Kangaroos. They've pushed Petrie forward as well to give him someone to match up on.
It'll only take one more goal from the Bulldogs to have some pressure on the Roos entering the last term, but it's Sinclair rebounding now and delivering well. Thompson on the lead, the mark, the handball to Harvey. Does he have support? Back to Thompson. He was slung. Harvey free.
Slow down.
Crowded attacking zone, as you can see. So Harvey goes short and finds Thompson, and he wins a free.
As soon as you can, Brett. Just clear the mark, guys. Yeah, right, you're right.
And now he'll line up goal number 4.
They'd like to have another look at this one. I think he actually, there's the free kick to Trent Harvey, but Nathan Thompson actually drops his ball. We'll have another look. I think in the end he draws the free kick. Oh no, it was high, but it actually dropped that ball.
Closer.
We said coming in, he'd have to kick 4 or 5 if the Kangaroos are to win. There's goal number 4. Back to a 22-point lead, and Rodney Eade is a frustrated man.
Well, I think he'd be frustrated because the space was there. I mean, Farron Ray got there after the event. He has to make sure that his man isn't going to be on it, but that's just not a good enough effort from Farron Ray. Should have been there covering Nathan Thompson's space, and in the end giving away the free kick added salt to the wound.
If the Kangaroos can win today, they'll leapfrog Hawthorn and at least be in a share with Brisbane, pending percentages. But there's still a ways to go as Street belts it forward. Ray. Jones did well, stood up in the tackle, got it to Ferrito. Puts it in front of Grant. Shannon Grant's away. Schwartz provides the shepherd. Grant runs. Deep ball. Bulldogs are all up, and Grant juggles the mark. No, not paid. Play on the call. Green. For Harding. Back for Shannon Grant. Hits it to the hot spot. Petrie's in front. Street the spoil. Green waiting down. Was he pushed? Play on. Bulldogs can clear. Gilby, McMahon over the top. Gilby feeds the handball away for Gian Siracusa. They'll breathe a sigh of relief for the time being, Bulldog fans. Here's Ray.
Play on!
Good ball to midfield. This might be it. Cross for Griffin.
Bounce.
Peter Street pops it to the square. Robbins and Pratt. Robbins! Their best football for the day.
And on that occasion, Jared, it was a bomb, but to a one-on-one contest. There lies the difference. Never thought he was going to kick that, mind you, from outside 50, big Streety.
Like Harry
taking a bounce.
Harry Madden at Waverley Park all those years ago. Robbins kicks his second. The Bulldogs keep breathing in this one. And speaking of breathing, Peter Street looking like Scott Cummings after 2 flights of stairs to make his way to the commentary box.
Yeah, harsh but fair, but I tell you what, Peter Street's got cult figure all over him. If he keeps playing like he is today, the Western Bulldogs supporters are loving him, and he got a fantastic ovation coming off the ground then.
They got enough run left in them, Scotty?
I think they do. They're just starting to work it out a little bit smarter now, and they've opened up the clearances, which is the best thing. They're not so many packs around the clearances, which is helping them. I reckon they can still get there.
Ryan Griffin alone and getting a stack of it. The other end of the ground, I think it's Farida who's the spare man.
10-12 plays 8-8, and the Bulldogs get the clearance. Griffin sends it wide. It's Simpson and Johnson, the 2 captains today. Johnson's going to win that little duel.
Almost one he didn't want to win.
Schwartz was waiting there for it, and his kick is perfect for Swallow. Now McIntosh. Long ball to centre half forward. Waiting down is Petrie. They've had the answers all day. Thompson in front. Harris the spoil. Harding's quick. Clever. Green just couldn't get there.
It's nearly Wayne Harms. Revisited. Nearly had a Toyota rat named after him.
17 points is the difference as Gilby goes short. Griffin has had 26 possessions today. This one is a wide ball for Skipper. Now, about to be under the pump, goes short, McMahon. He goes to Ray.
She let it bounce.
Paddles it for Hargrave, got a shepherd, he doesn't. So Hargrave now is going to be stalked. Has to kick hurriedly, and the Roos have numbers for Rito. Ferrito's off.
Geez, this is good pace from the big man.
Game number 100 for Shannon Watt.
One of the quickest of the Kangaroos, Jared.
Doesn't use it enough sometimes.
Speaking of pace, Daniel Wells. Still going. Grant should mark this. Harding affects a nice spoil. Gilby's there to clean up. Inside of 2 minutes to play in the third term. The margin was 18 points at half-time. It's 17 now.
Don't go in! Don't go in, Roos. The mark's up here.
A goal either way in the closing 90 seconds could be pivotal. It'd really give the Bulldogs a sniff. Or for the Kangaroos, it could be enough to shut them out. McMahon goes to Ray.
His disposal's been outstanding this quarter.
There's space in the pocket for Robbins to lead to. He gets rid of Pratt and takes a good mark, and it might be the Bulldogs getting a sniff.
That was just great body work. Absolutely perfect body work from Robbins. And it comes down from a couple of blokes. Farron Ray's had a number of important kicks, but Jordan McMahon has been a good link player from back to front.
He kicked 29 goals 2 years ago, 31 last year when he won the Coaches Award. He's kicked 24 this year. This a biggie to make it 11 points. He's done it. Robbins has got 3. And it's going to be game on, entering the final term at the MCG.
Well, he didn't have a very productive week last week. Matthew Robbins did an important role. He was on with Rapunda, but this week it's his turn to bob up and kick some goals, and that's the way it is in good teams. But they were always going to come back, the Bulldogs. It was a question of how much energy they've got and how much time they've got. Right now they're back in it with a sniff. But I reckon the Kangaroos have got a few more cards up their sleeve, and they've got to start producing them now, Wayne. They just can't allow this to roll on.
No, the Bulldogs are on a bit of a roll. And this is where the Kangaroos, in previous weeks, may have gone into their shell a little bit and not played the natural game and started playing a possession game. They have to continue to attack, run, take the Bulldogs on.
Final act of the third stanza. Eagleton sending the Dogs forward again.
Good tackle.
Gian Syracuse will tied up by Swallow. The clock will stop. We'll get a bounce. Rodney Yeed pacing the boundary line. He's ready to get out there himself and rekindle the fire on this hallowed turf.
Yeah, message to Griffin to get behind the ball. Doesn't want to concede a late goal here.
Jones' kick is smothered once. Deflected a second time. Bulldogs away. Less than 20 seconds. Eagleton, he's good on the run. Handball for Smith. Shrugs the tackle. Lines it up. Goes for goal. And gets it. What a finish to the third term. It's classic Bulldog footy. They've kicked 4 goals to 1 in time on and have drawn to within 5 points.
Now the run is starting to come, and the Kangaroos have made their task that much harder because they didn't take their opportunities early. They're not out of the match. This was always going to be part of the equation for winning, but the Bulldogs were playing well and truly below their best form, and they've started to run, and Rodney Eade. I can't believe how tough this has been this afternoon, but Kangaroos have got enough. They've just got to believe in themselves.
Settle in, folks. Half an hour of glorious footy coming up. Roos by 5 points.
Well, we've got a great game now because the Kangaroos, they'll go back, they'll reconsider, they'll come back with plenty of energy. But also the Bulldogs have found their rhythm. Not perfect rhythm so far. This is not going to be an easy one for them to get across the line. In fact, she's 50-50 right here, one.
Tactics will play a part. I don't think you can leave Griffin across half-back for the Bulldogs and Frito at the other end. Griffin is more damaging.
Bulldogs fighting for a top 4 spot. Roos trying to keep their season alive. We'll sort it out when we return. Are either of you gentlemen game enough to make a selection for what happens from here?
Well, I reckon it's going to be a close finish, Clint. How's that for sitting on the fence? Because I think there's a fair bit of intent with these Kangaroos. We know how good the Bulldogs are. We've seen them many times. They've got their game going. But the Kangaroos, they were their worst enemies, own worst enemies in that quarter because they just didn't take their chances.
I'm going to stick with the Kangaroos. I just think that sometimes when you come from behind, as the Bulldogs have, it can take a little bit out of you. And I think the Kangaroos have got a little bit left up their sleeve.
It's not just going to happen, though. They've got to get some of their best players to start getting the footy. Shannon Grant started to get it in that second half of that term. But Daniel Wells, Adam Simpson, they need to really get that ball and get it in quickly to Thompson because he is their match winner at the moment.
In saying that, Jared, as we said at the three-quarter time break, I don't think that Dean Laidley can allow Griffin to play that loose guy behind the ball. Frito was doing it for the Kangaroos. I just think that Griffin's been more damaging. He runs with the footy, he runs through the lines. Frito probably doesn't play that role a lot, isn't going to be as damaging.
Brent Harvey's another one. He's had 15 possessions, but the best Brent Harvey is the one who takes the ball from outside 50, inside 50, either puts it on someone's chest or kicks a goal himself.
Completely different story if you put a Wells, say, as the loose player behind the ball, because he's going to do a similar thing to Griffin. He's going to run the lines, he's going to carry the footy.
What are they playing for? Well, the Kangaroos, if they win this, it's 3 in a row, and they keep their slim finals chances alive.
Bit of a
the Bulldogs playing for a spot in the top 4. That's where they'll be after round 14 with a victory. Here we go. Roos by 5 points. Early whistle.
Against the Kangaroos kick. Put your foot off the line.
Got a problem with the Kangaroos because Petrie is down in the forward line and he's matched up against McGuinness. So into the fence.
McIntosh for Jones. Chips it inside 50. Dogs affect the spoil. Rawlings gets in the back of West. If you joined us late, Kangaroos a man down. A desiccated shoulder for Glenn Archer late in the second term. West goes out wide for Gian Siracusa. The Bulldogs have not led this game. They did draw even a couple of times in the first term. They've never been in front. McGuinness sends it long. Robbins the push-off. Pratt gets back in time and hits the boundary line.
Well, that was a good decision from the umpire. A callous umpire would have played that deliberate, and he might have almost been right.
He looms as a danger man, Robbins.
Yep.
Just seems to have the upper hand on Pratt just at the moment. Good use of his body.
Wells and Cooney, it's a good head-to-head battle.
Ruckman miss it. Sinclair takes them on. Will get a bounce in a very dangerous spot.
Thanks, Jess.
73 playing 68. Street and Brown. Jones caught. Brown likewise. Pratt just shoveling it for the boundary line. Another throw-in. How will the nerves last in this final term? Still deep in attack, the Dogs. Harvey for Harris. His kick is very wide. Bulldogs will get it with McGuinness. Goes quickly back for Gilby. He's a good architect. Gets around Makepeace. Tumbles it inside 50. Rowan Smith to put them in front. And he's hooked it too far.
I just watched the Kangaroo players respond to when the Bulldogs went from defence to attack. And I reckon Dean Lately will be a little bit concerned at how slowly some of their midfield players got back into defence to put the numbers there.
Harris to Harvey. McIntosh now. Pops it up to the wing. Simpson, the leap, will get a boundary throw. Roos led by 11 at quarter time, 18 at half time. Got as many as 26 clear in the third term. But right now it's game on. Harvey, no free. Stays in. McMahon wrapped up. McIntosh now.
Well done.
Gains 10 metres. Boundary throw. If the Kangaroos can make it 3 in a row, they'll be back at the Telstra Dome next Saturday night and could start favourite against Brisbane. And then they might get some momentum up. Free to Harding. McIntosh says we'll take the advantage. It doesn't come off because Harris stands his ground.
He took it, mate. He could have stopped, but he thought he was clear.
You hear the description of the advantage taken by the Roos. Brad Johnson now bangs it to the wing. McIntosh will be in the way. Can centre it. Does so. Makepeace. Goes quickly. Sinclair.
Thanks. Right there, mate.
Just haven't got that flow at the minute, the Kangaroos. Very stop-start, although they get a free man here. But the kick doesn't allow him to play on.
Schwartz peels off. Jones the handball to him. Sold the dummy on McGuinness. Runs to 55. Like his brother, he's a thumping kick. He's missing this to the near side.
No, there's a bit of stagnancy about this side as well. The Kangaroos, they're almost playing counter to what they did early when they just ran and ran hard and tackled in numbers, put pressure on. If they let it become an open game, they'll get beaten well.
Griffin away goes long. Cooney. Good movement by the Dogs. McMahon back to Cooney. Backs himself to find an opening. Chips it wide. Pratt in front. Slips. Opens the door. Robbins for number 4. Hangs onto it. Still going. It'd be a freakish goal. It's one of the best you'll see. And for the first time today, the Bulldogs are in front. And it's come from the boot of Matthew Robbins, his 4th goal, something for the highlight reel.
No question about that, Clinton. It's a terrific goal. But as I said just a few minutes ago, it's his body work. You can see Pratt just in that awkward position where Robbins is able to just nudge him under the ball ends up kicking a great goal, but it's the body work that he's got on Pratt at the moment. Pratt's just not getting himself in the right position. I think he just has to sit on that shoulder rather than get side by side with him, because Robbins is just too strong.
Brilliant thought process too, wasn't it? He had to adjust several times.
Did the old scissors over the player lying on the ground. And
Bulldogs have got the last 4. The onus back on the Kangaroos to respond. But it's the Dogs getting the clearance.
They're not running, the Kangaroos.
And the Bulldogs are. Boyd goes deep. Petrie fills the gap.
Stop running. They've got a couple of shootouts in the middle. One of them is Wells and Cooney. And so far in this quarter, Cooney's on top.
Watt drives it inside the 50. Early leap and spoil from Gilby. Another look over the shoulder of Casey Green. He affects the spoil for a boundary throw-in.
I reckon they've got too many big blokes out there at the moment. McIntosh just isn't running hard enough for the Kangaroos.
Boyd for Cooney. Morris from heavy traffic. Over the head of Watt, it bounced, but his recovery and tackle on McGuinness was great.
Good stuff from Watt.
Montgomery elects to take on Harvey. Now Cooney. McGuinness. 25-metre handball to Johnson. Eagleton. Wells chasing. Eagleton kicks long. Roos have got the numbers. Petrie on the rebound, has Harvey in the middle. Harding can go. Lee Harding to put the Roos back in front. A roller coaster now as Harding kicks his second.
Jeez, that's good footy.
it is good footy. It's become a shootout.
Yeah.
Looks like it's going to be a shootout. It's open footy now. Players are finding space. You can see here Rowan Smith plays for a free kick.
That's why the Bulldog supporters were booing.
They thought it was a free kick. I think he might have played for the free kick there.
But this was just superb transition.
Yep, uses the right option in Harding, who can play on through the middle and doesn't let his team down.
Got a lot better with his finishing.
He has.
Lee Harding. That's a big one. Wow.
You'd reckon in a shootout it'd favour the Bulldogs, but they've still got to get the job done.
West for Cooney, wrapped up by Harvey and Harris.
To him.
Well, he's been tagged a number of times with a hard tag. Right now, this is a chance for Adam Cooney. Looks like he may have a new opponent in Harris. He's got the pace to run away from Harris. He can have a massive last quarter for the Dogs.
The clearances still heavily weighted the Roos' way, 34-16, but the Dogs have been fighting back. That's a clear Kangaroo free. And West gets rid of Rawlings again. And Harvey wants to retaliate on behalf of his teammate.
Come on. Leave it, come on.
Oh, how will the tension be in the last? There's the free, no question. The kick to half forward. Harding pushed off it by Griffin. Comes to Montgomery, now Cooney.
Got to run with it, Cooney. He's got the pace.
Johnson in front. Watt's happy with that.
Been a good matchup, Johnson and Watt.
Yeah, he's matched Jono for speed, hasn't he?
Johnson without a goal today, coming in with 40 for the season. Skipper, Eagleton, the soccer, keeps it in. Harris backed himself. Caught, got the handle away, out of bounds.
Good result. The Bulldogs are away.
Yep, it's high stakes.
Quick rest for Wells. Back on now. Make peace off. They're doing a heavy rotation.
The Jets have been cooled as Cross kicks hurriedly forward. Jones.
Kangaroos have got Petrie playing the loose player.
Stay there, right on.
I reckon the Kangaroos have got the skill to play this chip game. I reckon they're better when they charge the footy.
Yeah.
They had the quick opportunity there. It's now gone.
Brown stretches and marks. A goal apiece here in the last quarter.
It's it, Robert.
For Rito. In close games this year, the Bulldogs 4-1 in matches decided by 14 points or less. That kick into the man on the mark, it's over, and it's deliberate. It's a Kangaroo free.
He gets another chance. Petrie's on his own.
Oh, and the kick. Well, Wells gets them out of danger. Schwartz towards Simpson. Montgomery there as well. Griffin heads for the line. Boundary throw in. And right now, no one is happy with the umpires. There was the deliberate call against Robbins. Half forward the Roos. We'll get a bounce.
Come on, guys.
Free kicks for the match, 18-10, the Kangaroos' way. This is the 140th meeting between the two old clubs. Roos have won 66, Dogs 70. There have been 3 draws. Ball tossed in the air now. Harris slaps it down. Simpson forcing it forward, but Boyd's in the way.
And right now they've made a change. Cooney's gone to the half-forward line, and he's been picked up by Petrie. Corey Jones pushed him down there. He pointed. It could hurt them just for the pace.
Well, it might head near them shortly. Cross for Hargrave. Cooney lurking at centre half forward. Hargrave goes towards the pocket where Ferrito in front of Robbins.
They made the change on Robbins, put Ferrito back there, who is probably a bit stronger in the body and able to do that on the more powerful Robbins.
Not smart by Cooney, though. He knew he was up against a lumbering type, and he didn't make himself an option.
Just stood there, didn't he?
Did.
So here's Pratt now on half-back as we tick towards 12 minutes to go in the quarter. Grant.
Right on it.
It has been a terrific struggle. The final chapter to unfold as Hale takes the mark. Swallow one for Simpson.
Stay on it.
Oh, that's short.
To mark. To mark.
What a point, Jared. Whenever they try to play this style of game, there's a turnover. And it could come back to hurt them.
Harvey, another 15 metres up the ground to Hale.
Problem when they're structured up like this, if there is a turnover, then there's a heap of space. So they've just got to, if they're going to chip it, it's got to be absolutely spot on.
Brady Rawlings now, as you see Petrie and Smith. Good spoil, Morris. Boundary throw-in, so it's a 50-50 ball.
Great closing speed as Dale Morris. We've seen that over the last 18 months in AFL footy. Too much speed for Shannon Grant.
Skipper. Harris wrapped up.
No chance. Easy. Hey. Let it go. Come on.
Still rolling the dice with Petrie on Cooney. Now, fair dinkum, if Cooney can't work this out, he's...
Well, they've just swapped it as you speak.
Okay.
Petrie going to Hargrave, and it's Schwartz alongside of Cooney.
Even still, I think Hargrave's got the leg speed over Petrie. But he has been playing well down there, so the coach is backing him in.
Hale for Grant. West, as always, in close proximity for the contest. Rawlings with a high ball inside 50. Harris the spoil. Griffin near the line. Does he keep it in? No, he doesn't. Kangaroos clinging to a 5-point lead. A match they led by as many as 27 points in the third term. Touched ball, the call, and the Dogs are running now. It's opened up for Farron Ray. Goes to half forward and Hargrave. His man was a long way off him. Cooney's in front. Good spoil, Schwartz at the last moment. Makepeace now for Rito. And they looked okay. Green. Dangerous handball. But Makepeace runs onto it well.
Yeah, smart play, Makepeace. Wasn't an option up forward. Oh, good tackle.
Green had it knocked away, dislodged in the tackle. Play on the call. Wills has got it now. Handball towards Brown. Can he get it back to Wills? He can. Wills breaks one, draws a second. Handballs to Harris, goes to half forward. Good kick. Thompson should go back and have a look unless he's got a clear option. He takes off, so does the man on the mark. Thompson closes, kicks long, and goals! Number 5.
Right it down to Wells. He's a yard breaker or a line breaker, isn't he? It's 3 consecutive handballs. They've got very few in this side, and they need Wells to be able to do it.
No, and that's the one that we spoke about, Jared. If he can get the ball off half-back and give them the run off that half-back line, as a Griffin does for the Bulldogs in this game, that's how the Kangaroos will win the game. They won't win the game by playing this chip and share and trying to hold the game up. That's not their go, as you said. Probably at this stage of their development, haven't quite got the skills to be able to do that. They play their best footy when they're attacking, and that proved that.
But now drop the spare man back in Lee Brown. More pace, which means that Chris Grant or Gilby is a loose man at the other end of the ground.
And that's probably much of a muchness. Both similar. Both read the game fairly well. Not going to give you too much run or pace through that area, but they'll certainly hold up. High kicks coming in.
Couple of men on the wing. Shannon Watt goes inside 50. Green in front. 45 metres out, he takes the mark.
Big kick, this one.
If he puts this away, it's going to make it tough for the Bulldogs.
That's where he is.
The lead is 11. Right on the edge of his range. Hasn't kicked a goal today. Casey Green, the former Eagle, with a good mark. And now, an important kick.
I think he's worked fairly hard today, Green, with not a lot of reward.
He's got some now.
Kick is good. 17 points is the Kangaroo lead. They saw a pretty withering burst from the Bulldogs come at them, and they've rallied with 3 goals of their own.
Seven to 4 clearances in favour of the Kangaroos for this quarter. We saw the Bulldogs turn it around in the 3rd quarter. It is so reflective of the fortunes of these 2 clubs that if the Bulldogs are going to win, they've got to start winning the footy from the clearances, and this one is as important as any other.
They've lost some tight ones this year, the Roos, to Melbourne by 6 points, to the Swans by 7 points. They're looking here to make it 3 wins in a row. Jones kicking wide. Bounce important, favoured Gilby. Morris to McMahon. To the corridor for Boyd.
Play on.
Dogs need 3 goals in 8.5 minutes. Boyd in the end does well to get the handball away. Johnson yet to get really involved today. Can he get something here, the acting skipper? Short to the pocket for Cooney from the tightest of angles. So he goes cleverly to Smith, and he'll mark. And he should get an answering goal to keep the Bulldogs in it.
That was just great play by the Western Bulldogs. Come back to cross. Sorry, it was Boyd who could have got tackled, but he held his feet and he held his composure. He got it away, and then a succession of really smart kicks, short kicks, has set Rowan Smith up for another goal.
You're right, because that was really the only option to Cooney. If he had a kick to long, the Kangaroos bring it back out.
Yep.
The fact that he goes short, Cooney plays on quickly, Smith shot at goal.
Ooh. He's got it. Only just, but he's got it. Number 3 to Rowan Smith. And it's back to an 11-point game. We're about to embark on the time-on period of the last quarter.
It just looks as if Cooney's athleticism could be a telling factor in this match. Here he is getting away from his opponent, but it was this quick decision that was smart, and the delivery for Rowan Smith or Ryan Hargraves it would have been. And Peter Street clearly won the last tap out. He hooked it back, and it went the way of the Kangaroos. If he's going to win the knock and win it decisively, then the ground level players have got to get involved.
About to tick into time on. 7 minutes 30 to go. Every clearance now important. Wells for Makepeace. The Roos get it. And Green, strong hands again.
Where you are, stay there, right on it.
Going to go short. And it's Harding
Sorry, Granny.
marking 40 out. 10 in from the boundary.
Nice work from Daniel Wells. And Gilby up against Green. He's being exposed just a little bit, isn't he, for overhead marking. First time that's happened this season from the games I've seen.
We mentioned earlier, Harding a straight shooter this year, 16 goals, 7. You reckon this could just about be the fatal blow? It was that close. Into the post. 2 straight kicks the difference. 28,173 are here, and not one of them is left yet.
He can play on here, the Western Bulldogs player. There's no one on the mark. He doesn't elect to. It's made a contest there. Good Shepherd.
And Morris takes the mark. Hang on, no, it's an illegal Shepherd.
You turned your eyes and took him out of the contest.
We'll check it in a moment because Swallow's ready to go. He's driving it long. Nathan Thompson, the target. Oh, Cross stands his ground. Well to mark. Coming up on 6 minutes. Short ball for Ray. We know the Dogs will never say die. They've been in this position before. Ray to Montgomery. Griffin now. Into the pocket for Robbins. Good spoil for Rito. Will get a boundary throw in. Another look at the Shepherd of Rowan Smith. The eyes, according to the umpire, were the key. And you have to say it's a good call.
It is a good call, but that happens probably 50 times a game in the forward line.
I would have thought it was a good Shepherd. The ball was within 5 metres. He's allowed to stand his ground.
I think it was one of the rules that they're going to crack down on this year. That one where players take their eye off the ball, but especially in marking contests, it's one that they did highlight in the DVD, Jared, at the start of the year. I'm not sure whether you're
yeah, understand that but if you're within 5 metres, you are still allowed to hold your ground. I would have thought.
Deep in attack, the Dogs down by 2 goals. Running onto it, Harvey. Chips it out wide, good kick, Rawlings.
I think the key to that was the umpire said that he took his eyes off the ball. He had his eyes on the player rather than watching the flight of the ball.
Oh, is that a risky kick to midfield?
That's the definition, anyway.
Sinclair to half forward. Green and Gilby. Gilby slaps it away. Plenty of white jumpers there. Sinclair, was he legged? Yes.
Got his legs.
Less than 5 minutes to go. Kangaroos appearing as though they're going to be able to do enough to hang on. Pratt measures it wide. It's a good kick, and Shannon Grant's got the mark.
Daniel!
Any score, I reckon, it just about do. 12 points in front.
Shannon Grant, trip. One of the best kicks in the Kangaroos side too. Side for left footer, but he is a beautiful kick of the footy.
This for a 3-goal lead with only 4 minutes to play. From 50, the margin is 2 goals, 1. Fox Footy Sunday. We've brought you some thrillers this year. We're at the Dome next week for the Bulldogs again as they play Carlton. 4 minutes to go here, and the big man's away. Delivers to Grant. Sends it out wide for Montgomery. Still time. Eagleton, he's dobbed one from here already today. Great little sidestep. Goes for, well, where's he going? Across the face. Didn't kick through it. And it's back to a 2-goal game. Makepeace. Short. Watt.
Play on.
Harris.
It's in, Nathan. Right there.
Dogs have got a man up. Kangaroos will happily run it down from here. Oh, good hands for Rito.
Let's go, Max here. No.
All the while, time being as run off the clock. Good space by McIntosh.
Bit hard to see the ball at the minute with all the seagulls on the ground.
Thanks, Lindsay,
It's
right
feeding
there.
time. It's like Hitchcock's The Birds. Green. Deep to half forward. Oh, Thompson with a spectacular launch.
Not going to lose when you take grabs like that.
Nathan.
His 8th mark today. His best. And Paul Morris dumping the knee to the back of the head. If he can cap it with goal number 6, the Roos will have secured victory.
That's it there.
He cannot. And it's not even a behind. Out on the full. So if the Bulldogs can streak it forward as Dean Wadley catches a glimpse of the time clock. 2 goals in 2 minutes, the task to try and affect the draw. And they go short. Eagleton away. Now the long ball. Target is Street. Couldn't hang on to the mark. Soccer by West. Good hands. Grant. Back for West. Rowan Smith. Oh, they both waited. The bounce was unkind. And Petrie forces a baller.
Peter Street coming from the ground. Wade skipper on. Spoke about McIntosh earlier in the piece, but to his credit, he has just pushed himself through the wall and beyond. He's been really good for the Kangaroos.
Sam Power for Scott West.
Play on.
Goes to ground looking for a free. Play on is the call. Ferrito to Sinclair. And that was a big defensive play for the Kangaroos.
Look at him. He's still running the big bloke, and that's why he can become a player.
Oh, Morris wears one from the big Thompson.
Hey, guys. Right?
I was just going the ball.
No, but I just thought it was too late, right? Yeah. I'm reporting you foul.
He is reported for charging.
That is... Well,
Mark's here.
he won't have much to answer because I have a feeling that might get withdrawn before it even goes up.
Mark's here.
The ball's still in dispute. You're allowed to bump the player in the side.
To your right now. Let's go. Play on.
Harris takes the kick. The ball is to midfield and Simpson.
Mark's right there, Rowan.
It's a big mark by the captain.
And he goes wide for Brown. It's character from the Roos today. They were 27 points in front. They fell behind when the Bulldogs kicked the opening goal of this last quarter. It looked like, for all intents and purposes, that they were going to be overrun. But they dug deep, they found something, and now they're going to hang on for a well-deserved win. Final seconds running off the clock. Harvey says slow it down.
I think he wants the footy when the siren
Go,
goes.
Brent. Play on.
Rodney Eade knows that it's done. The kick is good for
Right
Makepeace.
there, Sam. Hold it there.
And for the 3rd week in a row, the Kangaroos keep their season alive. What a victory. Three consecutive wins. And the Kangaroos advance to 5-9. While the Western Bulldogs squander a chance to secure a spot in the top 4. They slip to 9-5. Terrific game, gents.
No question about that, Clinton. This has been the Kangaroos' best win for the year. They've knocked over the Blues and the Bombers over the last 2 weeks. They're probably not having their best seasons, but they've beaten the quality opposition today, Jared.
Yeah, they were really impressive. Right from the word go, they ran and pressured, had a bit of a sleep through the 3rd quarter, but really just came to play in that last quarter and got the cherries.
Let's go down to Scott.
Thanks, Clinton. I've got Jess Sinclair with me. Jess, great win, mate, against a very good team.
Yeah, Doggies have been up and running for the past couple of weeks, but starting to get a bit of momentum now, and just a fantastic effort today by everyone.
But a lot of emphasis on the run today. I heard Dean Laley at the quarter-time and three-quarter-time huddles really asking for a bit of run. Yeah, look, that was one of our focuses going on the game. They were running side the Bulldogs, so just tried to match them as best we could and did it. What about the endeavour, mate? The boys were throwing their bodies on the packs, putting their body on the line. It was terrific. Yeah, well, we lost Archie at half-time. He's off with a pretty serious injury, and Dean made a mention of it at half-time. We wanted to win for him, and we did it for him. So smashed them around the clearances, which generally they're good at. Yeah, look, we've got a number of players that are very good in that area. Simpson, Harris are probably best in the comp, and yeah, another area we got on top on. Mate, most importantly, how's that hair? Got a bit of a yank. Are you okay? Yeah, there's enough of it, mate, so I'm all right. Oh, good. The career is still on track. Good on you, mate. Well done, you.
We shall go!